Sunday. It is 1:26 p.m. It is February the 27th. And today, I would like to talk about the in-between, a subject that I have covered before, but it is a subject that I think cannot be covered enough because I think it is one of the main keys to being able to leave your body if you can reach that place. One of the reasons why I wanted to talk about the in-between today was because I was speaking to my mom last night and we were just talking. I was asking her, sometimes I will ask her things about stuff that's happening to me, and she gives me a very interesting perspective. She understands a lot of this stuff, and we were talking about some of the things that happen to me when I am in the in-between, some of the things that are beyond just astral projection. Now, I've talked about the importance of the in-between. By the way, for those of you who may not know what I mean by this, it is the place between being asleep and awake. Some have called it they've called it sleep paralysis. And by the way, these are words I do not agree with personally. I know that people use that, but I think that it scares people when they see it. I see it on the subreddit. People say that they're afraid. No wonder. You put the word paralysis in anything and people are going to be scared. So one of the things I'm going to do with this particular Sunday episode is I'm going to go against the grain. And I'm just going to say, look, I don't use the word paralysis. I think it's a scary word to use. And I want to go through really quick. I want to tell you the reason why I don't use it. And I want to give those of you who have actually dealt with sleep paralysis something to think about, and something that I do when I am in that in-between place. Now, for me, this is how I think about it. I think about that in-between, or what people refer to as sleep paralysis, as a transition. You're transitioning from the physical to the mental, or the conscious part of you, your consciousness, basically. And so when I deal with this, when I go through this, I'm not afraid, not even for a split second. And the reason that I'm not afraid is because the transition happens. And now, instead of moving body parts, like my legs or my arms or whatever, my mind is doing the movement. But not only can I move front, forward, backward, to the side, up and down, in any direction I want to move in, but I can also move through time. I can move to different realities. I can do all kinds of movement. I can move anywhere in existence. And that's how I think about it. And for me, it's not a scary thing to reach that place. And for you out there that have dealt with sleep paralysis, I don't want you to be afraid anymore as well. For those of you who are able to reach that point, I want you to think of it as a transition. I want you to think in your minds, once you're there, okay, I can't move my body at this moment, but what about my mind? Can you think, I want to go up? Can you think, I want to go down? Can you think, I want to go to the side? Can you think, I want to go back in time to 1920? Can you think, I want to be floating in front of Jupiter? Jupiter's been, by the way, guys, a recent obsession of mine. I've been wanting to go to Jupiter, but that's a whole nother subject. I'm really thinking that I've done the Saturn thing. Now I want to see Jupiter, but that's what I mean. So don't think of it as paralysis. Think of it as a transition from one thing to another. So at that point, when you are in that in-between place, you are pure consciousness. And I have actually been there. This is an experience that I haven't talked about on this channel, simply because, well, it was a very short experience that I had a while back, but I was, for a moment, in one of my experiences, pure consciousness. I was in this room and there was a window and there were walls, but I was able to move simply by the power of thought. I could move forward, I could go down, I could go backwards, and I could actually feel the walls when I was there. It was almost as if in my mind, I was reaching out and I was touching the walls. And to a certain extent, it felt like as if I was reaching out with a physical hand and a physical arm, although I couldn't see it, and I was touching that place. So it's very interesting. It is not something to fear. It is a power, and I believe you guys all have it. So I want you to begin to think about it in that way. Now, another thing that has happened to me when I've gotten into the in-between is sometimes things happen and I don't understand what it is that I'm picking up on. I'll give you an example, something that happened in the last day or so. I was in the in-between and I was perceiving this couple, this man and this woman, and I was speaking to them in this place. And it was interesting because I was like shaking their hand and I was having this full-on conversation as if I'd known them forever. And in that moment, if you had asked me, I would tell you, I've known these people forever. I know these people. Now, as soon as I opened my eyes, I was like, I have no clue who these people are. I don't know who these people are. I don't know. But during the moment that I was with them, I knew them. And that isn't the first time that that's happened. That's happened many times. Sometimes I get things and I'm just wondering, does this mean? And I'm wondering how many of you out there have been half asleep, half awake, and you're getting something. Something is maybe being downloaded into your head, and you're thinking, okay, I don't know what this means. Now, when it's being downloaded and you're perceiving it, it makes sense. But once you've opened your eyes and you've come back to the 3D world, you're like, that does not make sense. Now, one of the things you might want to think about is the fact that our conscious minds, once we're awake, are dealing with all the things in the 3D world. And the stuff that comes in that middle space, that gets kind of brushed back somewhere. And, you know, our minds have a tendency, I think, to say, oh, I was just dreaming that, or that was just in my imagination. This is something I want you guys to pay attention to from now on when you're just beginning to wake up in that place. Because it's not just about laying down in bed and getting into that place before you astral project. It's about when you wake up in the morning. I want you to pay attention to that space right before you're opening your eyes. And now I know this is going to take practice, but this is one of the things I think might be able to help you. There is a middle place that we all have the ability to go to, guys. And it is important not only for astral projection, but also for a lot of other different things. I've mentioned this before. I've been able to be in contact with my guides without leaving my body. I have also contacted spirit beings and been in contact with all kinds of different beings in that place. So I want you to consider this, because if you can reach that middle place, it will open up a whole nother world for you. And again, I want you to think about the big picture. I want you to think that I know that astral projection is an important thing, and I believe that astral projection can be reached in that place. But I want you to think beyond that. I want you to think bigger picture here. I want you to really consider that there are many, many things that are possible in that place, including, I believe, beyond body, being able to visit different realities and see them and observe them in the way of not even having to leave your body, but just seeing them when you shut your eyes. It is an amazing thing. But I think this Sunday episode for me is really to get you guys to start thinking about this kind of thing. And I truly hope that you'll consider it. Reaching that middle place isn't going to be necessarily easy. It really does take practice. You really have to, when you shut your eyes before you go into sleep, have attention and focus on that place, but at the same time, be relaxing and letting go. And that is not an easy thing to do, but I think if you work at it, you'll get there. Anyway, that is my Sunday episode. Thank you so much for coming on another journey with me. And until next time, take care.